Jeff Passan put out 2 tweets on December 12th, and one of those tweets was saying that he has a perfect temperament
for New York.
For New York City.
Right.
So I said, well, if he was aware of this story, of the stalking and sexual harassment, to make that statement is a real problem for me. Because how do you make that statement if you're aware of what's going on? Because you're now alleging publicly that you're one of the reporters on the case. All right, so he answered that. The Weasel came out and said, I did not know about this until, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, recently. Well, if you have no idea that it's going on, why are you now making the rounds going on radio shows, taking credit for the story and reporting the story as if it's yours? What you did marginalized the work of a female reporter, Mina Kimes, right? Mm-hmm. And you're upset because another female reporter had been marginalized by the actions of Jared Porter. So while you're not sexually harassing your coworker, you're marginalizing her work as a woman because you're now brought into the mix and taking over the alleged story and taking over the credit for said story when you had nothing to do with it. Here's a woman that fled back to her own country, which Sandy Olson said was Korea yesterday, and got out of the business because she had been harassed in her own country and then, of course, harassed here by Jared Porter back in 2016, 2017. So do you think it does a service to that woman who has been victimized by calling her up and telling her that the man that had sexually harassed her over text messages 5 years ago just became the general manager of a Major League Baseball team? Do you think that does a solid to her? Do you think by making her now relive all those things that took place back then, the 62 unanswered text messages, the picture of his junk, all that crap, do you think that's a good thing to do to her? And you didn't do it to protect her. You did it because you wanted to break a story. If you want to come at me and Evan, come at us. Bring a whole bunch of machine guns because we're not going to lose this battle. And you took advantage of a situation in which a woman was stalked and sexually harassed for your own career goals. And frankly, shame on you because it's disgusting. So go talk to Michael Kay. Go talk to Dan Patrick. Call me every name in the book. But don't claim to care about how the victim was mistreated by Jared Porter when, if you found out 2 weeks ago, you didn't say a damn word about it. Whenever it is that you found out, you sat on it a day, 3 days, 5 days, and potentially more women were put in harm's way because you wanted to break a story. And if you want to come at us with facts. Worry about guys getting traded and how much their contracts are for. And stop trying to pretend that you're out here to save the world and make the workplace safer for women. Because guess what? This is what Jeffrey Passan did. By not telling the New York Mets the minute that he found out that they have employed a predator, he failed every single woman that works for the New York Met organization. You're a whiny weasel who completely misrepresented what Evan and I said. Completely misrepresented it. And you don't give a rat's ass about that victim in Korea. And I'll bet you never talk to that woman again. Now that the story's out there, are you going to check in periodically to make sure she's all right? To see how she's doing? Or now that you got your moment in the sun and you guys broke the story, are you done with her and on to the next? The Blue Jays got George Springer. Listen, you want to come on the show, Jeff?
Interesting.
You've been on this radio station a million times before everybody knew who you were. You want to come on? I will gladly discuss this with you on the show. But you and I both know you're not going to come on. And it's not because you're under contract with ESPN. It's because you know I'm right. You made this story about you. If you claim that you didn't even know about it until, I don't know, a week or two ago, whatever the date was, and you let women working for the Mets go to work and potentially be victimized by a guy that you knew as a fact was a predator. Shame on you. And now making the rounds like you're the big hero. No, you're not. It wasn't even your story. It wasn't. You're the guy that recommended Jared Porter for the Met job. Your words, not mine. And then you steal credit for the story from a female reporter, marginalizing her ability as a reporter. It's her story. It's not your story. Why are you making the rounds? Why are you talking to radio talk shows all across the country about the breaking story? See, that's the difference. That's where you got it twisted. You made it your story. It was no longer Mina Kimes' story. It became the Weasel story. Hey, look at the story we broke. We're the best. We're the worldwide leader in breaking stories. You stole her story. You tried to make it your own, and you made it about you. It was no longer about what Jared Porter did to this poor woman. It was about you, because you're a weasel, a big, fat weasel. So come with it. Let's go. Any day you want to come on the show, I'll go on another show with you. Wherever you want to discuss this as rational adults, the gauntlet's been thrown down. Man up and come on and let's discuss it. And you tell me I'm wrong. But here's the problem. You're not going to do that. You know why you're not going to do that? Because I'm right. That's it.